When it comes to improving the lives of America's foster youth and creating a change in the child welfare system, my next two guests are at the forefront and making such a huge difference. Please welcome Senator Mary Landrieu, who is a senior senator from Louisiana and co-chair of both the Senate Caucus on Foster Youth and Congressional Coalition on Adoption. And also, please welcome Senator Charles Grassley, the senior senator from Iowa and the top Republican on the Senate Finance Committee and founder and co-chairman of the Senate Caucus on Foster Youth. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. You guys have a seat. You're on the battle line here in trying to change the impact on 750,000 kids that are caught up in the foster system today.
750,000 sounds like a lot, but you know it's less than 1% of all children in America. So I think we can do some things to get it right.
One of the reasons we set up the caucus was so that we could have bring kids in that have dealt with this, that have been from home to home, understand that they're not any different than any other kids in America. They want a mom and dad, they want a home, they want to know what their future is. Permanence is a word I constantly hear from them. So the caucus was set up a couple years ago to bring people in and then eventually get their ideas for a call to action so that we can change the system. But really, we've concentrated on all foster care, but the ones that are aging out seem to be the ones that we want to concentrate on because we have a system that would really just put them out into nowhere in a sense.
Because I want everybody at home to know how this works, because right now the foster care system has a limit, and in most cases it's 18 years of age, and what you're saying at that point, everything stops. All of the funding stops, so the families that have them can't afford to have them anymore because they oftentimes really rely on that stipend to take care of these kids. They have no health care, they have no transition from high school to college, they have nothing, and the percentage of them that wind up in jail or homeless within a year or two of aging out is disturbing.
Absolutely. I think, and Chuck agrees, that the solution is starting at the early end as well, is focusing on the 25,000 children that age out every year and have our eyes on them, helping them to be more independent, Pell Grants, helping them to get through school, health care, being supportive. But if you think about it, starting at the front end, when the problem starts, when these children are born, when they're 1, 2, 3, not 8, not 13, not 15, and having the system intervene early, get children either reunited with their families, wrapping around services to keep them from being abandoned in the first place, or put as early as possible with an adoptive family. This family story is heartbreaking. I mean, he and I are sitting back there crying ourselves. I mean, but we can avoid some of this heartbreak if the system would be better. And we're spending a lot of money and not getting the results, and we're committed to changing it.
Now, we have some former foster children. Wendy and Sam didn't let anything get in their way, and were both honored with becoming congressional interns this past year. Wendy, thank you so much for being here. Sam, thank you for being here. You guys, all the foster children, talk about this, Wendy, from your point of view.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to both of you guys, both senators, and for you for bringing, this subject to light. Being in a foster home, it is hard in itself, but a group home makes that even more difficult.
There's no reason a child like this has to be in a group home. This isn't a business. This is about raising children and loving them to be the kind of citizens we want them to be. And so we've got to change that funding, and that's what Senator Grassley and I are focused on doing.
This is some of the stuff that's come out in the paper we're putting out that we call a call to action.
Now, Sam, you were in the foster care system from birth, correct?
Yes.
So until you were 16 when you emancipated at that point. That's great. Talk about that.
From early on, at an early age, I experienced various different forms of abuse. I was beat for no reason. And really, I think the thing that had the biggest toll on me was the mental abuse. I was always told that I wouldn't amount to anything. There wasn't anybody telling me how to do anything. There was no skills taught to me. I struggled. It took a long time for me to open up and to even establish relationships. I mean,
what difference did it make for an adult, for a mentor to step up and be part of your life?
I think that was all the difference. It really, for someone to stay there and constantly be there, it was really what I call relentless commitment. They never quit on me, and he always told me that I could amount to something.
And what are you doing now?
I'm a senior at the University of Washington, studying political science, interning for Congressman Jim McDermott.
That mentoring reminds me that another goal that the kids that come and testify to us tell us is establish as much as we can relationships with siblings, with relatives. Maybe it can't be mom and dad, birth mom and dad, but someplace else there's a relative that cares. So we can extend from generation to generation a feeling of continuity that can be passed on.
Well, let me ask you two this. Millions of people are watching. What can they do?
We've got about 15 members of the Senate that are members of our caucus. Get your senators to join our caucus so we get a broader base. Realize that as a constituent, you can make a difference. Mentoring is a very important thing. That's probably the most direct thing you can do. But indirectly, help us change this system by understanding what these issues are. Writing to your congressman, email. A lot of people don't think that writing to a congressman or a senator makes any difference. But it does make a difference, and they need to get involved in the process. And just your having this program helps so much.
Under the new America Serves Act, there are incentives for people to step up and be academic mentors to foster care children. You could be a CASA volunteer. I see CASAs in the audience. You're familiar with that organization. Robin, your wife, that's a fabulous organization. You don't have to be a lawyer. You just have to have a heart and a passion for kids. Show up and advocate for them and fight for them through the system until Chuck and I can change it, because that's what we are really working on doing. We're determined to change this system.
Well, on our website, we are going to have contact information for all of the senators, so people can click on there, they can download a letter, they can send it, they can send an email on that is responding to this, and you're having a call to action very soon, October 7th. Say something about that.
Young people and other professionals coming in to look through the system, what needs to be improved, and it will be suggestions that we're putting out there that Congress ought to act on.
All right, now you can go to drphil.com, and we're going to have all kinds of information there so you can be a part of this. And you guys keep me posted and let me know what I can do to help, because we're going to keep a bright light over this, and
Thank
I'll
you for
speak
your
anytime,
advocacy.
anywhere.
This program is a great help. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.